Land Bank Board of Trustees meeting to order. And for information purposes, Mike Ryan is attending by phone.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
New business, consideration of Land Bank minutes for May 17, 2016. I saw no additions or corrections.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those not opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consideration of resolution number 4, 2016, the offer from John Kramer to purchase Lot 1, Block 1, Cherokee Edition for $11,625. Mr. You're out.
Mr. Chairman, board members, if you'll recall, we accepted the offer from Kramer Brothers LLC, or Kramer Land LLC, I think is how they call it, to acquire the 5-acre lot up off of Grant Avenue that's actually platted as the Cherokee Edition. And one of the processes we need to go through, and we should have had this prepared earlier, sorry, but is that this board needs to pass a resolution to authorize effectively the board chair to sign not only the contract, but also to sign the closing papers and everything necessary to get this closed. Contract has been in the hands of the Kramers. They did have some questions back. I shared that with Katie, and she's responded back. Talked briefly with them this morning, and they're to come and pick up the revised contracts. A copy of that actual contract, I think, is in your packet, so you can see what it's saying. This is so you will recall this particular property does not have any specials against it, so there's no action of the governing body to deal with anything with respect to specials. So this is just a procedural action for this board to authorize by resolution us to consummate the sale and move to closing. Be happy to answer any other questions you have.
I think it was self-explanatory in the packet.
Move to approve resolution 4-2016.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
None here.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank
you. Consideration of request from Westar for utility easement on Lot 10 of Patriot Ridge Edition. Mr. Dinkle.
Mr. Chairman and trustees, a few meetings ago, Westar had wanted to purchase an easement on the back side of, I believe, 11 or 12 or 13 land bank lots, chopping the back at the side lots off, and they offered $5,000 some odd dollars, if I remember right. We said no, we wanted more. They came back with an alternate proposal right now. If you look on, it'd be page 17 in your packet. There is an easement right now. Basically, they purchased the easement from the city on the Helen Park stuff, or the Munson land, basically. And then it crosses over into a 35, there's a platted easement around the land bank properties now, and they would want to purchase a small yellow easement in there. And then they'll take that, put a pole there, and then go underground and go easterly in that platted utility easement that's already in place. And then they'll go along the curb then in a utility easement until the next platted utility easement, and then go back northwesterly, and then go back above ground. No issues with that as far as I'm concerned. In fact, you're going to have poles removed back here on the backside of the lots because it was KDOT is wanting to take over in the small easement. Mr. Rogers, yeah. Jeff Rogers, I think his name is. Anyhow, he has gone ahead and said that he would, wants to know if the city wants to, Jeff Rogers, if the city wants to do it, or the land bank wants to do it, and what the value is. I'm suggesting, my recommendation is yes, and to establish a value of somewhere between $1,500 and $3,000. As you can see on that lot itself, it does very little detriment to the lot because it's in the corner, and that's an odd-shaped lot anyhow. I mean, so we're not affecting the lot in much. So pick a number. I recommend to approve it and then pick a number. and I will take it back to him then.
It was 1,000 square feet, something like
Yeah,
that?
1,000 square foot.
How long will they need this?
This is permanent.
Oh, I thought it said temporary. Okay. I misread it.
The temporary one is $500.
No, KDOT's temporary.
Yeah,
The KDOT one was
KDOT
temporary.
is,
Okay,
And this one was the permanent.
This is
yeah.
permanent easement, yeah.
transposed, okay.
Yeah, okay. Did I
That's
screw
what
up?
it was. No.
I think I'm
No problem. Okay,
in two things here.
okay. Yeah, this is a permanent utility easement.
Okay.
I would propose starting out at a $2,500 purchase price.
That's the same place I was thinking. I was thinking 2,500. It's a short span of land, 15 by 35 by, I don't know the other distance.
Just over 1,000 square feet, I think.
Yeah. That's the area we don't know.
It's in a corner, minimal impact.
It is.
They have to maintain the ground, so.
Oh, okay. No specials on that, it's a one-time purchase.
Right.
In my mind, we don't need a motion tonight, I need a price so I can then extend to them, and then they can extend the contract back to us.
I'm fine with 2,500 also.
Okay,
We're cool then?
Pat, you good with that?
that's fine.
2,500 proposed price?
And not jack our rates up.
Mr. Ryan, okay? Commissioner Ryan?
Commissioner Ryan, you good with that?
I'm good with it.
Okay. Okay, consideration of request from KDOT for right-of-way and easement of land bank property.
Okay, this one's a little more fun, and we don't have any more reports tonight. I thought we'd have stuff, because, well, at least give you an update. You know, KDOT was arguing as part of our agreement for the Highway 77 project and all the things that were done, that the city would have to relinquish any right-of-way that was in the control of the city. On your behalf as land bank, we said, no, the land bank is not. City attorney was in contact with them, and I think they were arguing that, yeah, it was in your control. So Katie,
I persuaded them that the land bank is separate from the city, so.
and she won. She went ahead, and so last Thursday morning, we had this conference call, her and I, with KDOT, and I was waiting, and I think Katie was too, that they were going to argue that no, the land bank is the same as the city. We get on the phone, and they're starting talking dollars. They didn't even talk about that. They promised they would send Katie
An appraisal.
The appraisal?
Yeah, they offered, what was it, 30?
They offered $500
$500
for the temp easement.
Which isn't, that's fine, because the temporary easement is just temporary.
Yeah, and I don't have a big issue with that, not on that land.
Yeah.
And then they were talking
30,
$3,500 for the rest of the
no,
easement.
no, 35,000,
100,
100.
3,500.
Oh, I thought it was more than that. Anyway, they indicated that they were prepared to make an offer for the remainder of the permanent easement. They gave us a dollar amount over the phone. I thought it was higher than that, but they indicated it was based on an appraisal, and I asked to see the appraisal, and they said, of course, they would send me the appraisal, and as of right now, I haven't received the appraisal yet. So we don't really have a firm offer from them yet, but the progress is that they're willing to pay something for it and not take the position, before they took the position that the land bank is under the control of the city and therefore the city is obligated to give them the conveyance as it would be if you did own the property, so.
Does the appraisal take into account the specials on the properties as well?
We haven't
On the
seen
land
the
itself?
we haven't seen the appraisal yet, so we don't know what it takes into account. That's why I asked to see the appraisal.
This is actually, what they want is actually the public easement that Westar's in now, for the most part. So that's,
Different.
so it would go from an easement to property being transferred to KDOT.
Yeah. So it probably
Some value.
isn't going to be worth all that much at the end of the day. But until we see the appraisal, we can't really react to what they're offering us.
Okay.
So we'll just have to report
But
back.
I was pleased that Katie apparently convinced them, right? Because I was going to use public building commission scenarios where even though the city commission is also a public building commission in some cases, like I've been, that we actually transferred land by deeds and everything else across. I mean, we had separate issues, and I did some bond and indebtedness, or some bonds for a hospital in one of those, so I thought we'd be right, but I didn't have to argue. She was ahead of me.
Did you say Westar is the easement now? They have.
It's the easement that the city on the plat, you heard me say the word public utility easements. When they developed this subdivision, when they platted it, the city or the developer went ahead and dedicated certain strips of land for utility easements.
At the back of the lawn.
Backside, and also, is in the case of the Westar issue now, is between some of the lots, there's easements to run lines back and forth. It was done part of the plat that was accepted by the city, so everything's cool. And what they're taking away from Westar, want to take away from us, is what Westar is using as utility easement now, thus the Westar move.
Would we have to pay for the Westar or the movement of utilities after that?
There won't be any utilities there,
Okay.
because KDOT would own that land, and they're forcing everybody else out of there.
KDOT will own it. It
Yeah,
would be
we
a
will not
deed, it
own
would be a
it, yeah.
special warranty deed to KDOT, not a easement.
An easement is land, in most cases, owned by the property owner. I use the word right-of-way, and some use it a little differently, is land that is owned by that entity. Like KDOT right-of-way, they own the land. In front of your house, for example, the 8 foot from the curb, give or take, we call that a city right-of-way. It is owned by the city. In some of our backyards where we may have a sewer line through or anything else, you may own the land and we call it an easement, which is your land, but somewhere along the line, a property owner, and of course transferred on with a transfer deed, give us that right to do specific uses in that right-of-way or in that easement. So. Point is we don't have any, we thought, I put
No
this on the
action.
agenda because we thought Katie would have something, but
Right, but, so, yeah, we thought we would, because that was Thursday, and he
Yeah.
indicated he would send it right away, but as of right now, I don't have it, so we'll see what we get. And
Just
then we'll
realize-
look at it, because if we can't come to an agreement on price, they either have to bring an eminent domain action to condemn it. I mean, that's essentially the ultimate.
and they need it more than we do.
They need it what?
They need it more than we, I mean, they literally have to get to their construction when they get to that point of getting on that property.
Will that create us to move our utilities that would probably go in that area?
We have no utilities in the area.
No utilities there.
That's what I was
If they were
asking.
gonna go in there, though, if they needed an area for utilities, they'd
It'll
have
be
to
gone.
relocate?
It'll be gone.
Okay.
Then the utility company would have to negotiate with the city for utility, as Westar just has.
Okay,
Yeah, it'd be gone. I mean,
totally.
gone. The only thing that could happen, and I don't see a reason why you'd even want to, the city could establish or city land bank, since they own the land, could establish their easement back there, but I see no reason why. Makes no sense to me.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, no action on item D until we hear back on the
Have
appraisal.
an offer, yeah.
Move to adjourn?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Got about 2 minutes.